This is KVUE News Daybreak.
We believe that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians.
Former acting Attorney General Sally Yates says she warned the White House about the president's first national security advisor, why she says Michael Flynn could have been blackmailed.
And Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filing a lawsuit against certain Austin City officials. This morning, the issue he's taking to a U.S. District Court.
When it comes to our children, shoot first, ask questions later.
The family of a man killed over the weekend by an Austin police officer downtown says there's more to the story, what they're calling on the police department to do right away. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak at 5 a.m. I'm Brian Mays.
And I'm Yvonne Nava. It is Tuesday, May 9th.
That's right. Before we check in with Anavid Reyes, who's keeping her eyes on traffic this morning, let's talk to Erica Lopez, who's got her eyes on the skies once again. Hello, Erica.
Hello, that's right. The skies are pretty dreary this morning. We have lots of cloud coverage out there. Our atmosphere is so saturated that we're actually monitoring some patchy drizzle as you head out the door this morning. But keep in mind, mostly cloudy days in store. Temperatures right now 66 in Austin, 70s for Llano. You're the warmest this morning, and lots of mid to lower 60s for the eastern counties. Lockhart at 62 degrees for the start of your Tuesday. Afternoon highs 82 degrees. A 20% chance of an isolated shower is possible today. Again, a lot of low-level moisture. We've been talking about southeast winds for the last couple of days now. That's really brought in the Gulf moisture into our viewing area. Keep in mind, things are still going to be muggy overnight with that 20% chance of an isolated shower remaining. Here's a look at your rush hour forecast. The patchy drizzle and isolated showers should not ruin your commuting plans this morning, but keep in mind it will be gloomy out there, not much in the form of sunshine. Let's talk about traffic this morning with Anavid Reyes. She has the latest.
Absolutely. Let's talk about traffic. This is a live look at Mopac at Far West Boulevard and I-35 at East Bend White. You can see traffic is quite nice this morning. No major issues here for the Austin metro area. Looking quite nice. Now, I do want to let you know about some various nighttime lane closures. This is affecting FM 973 by 1:30. So make sure you look at that. Wednesday through Sunday, nighttime lane closures affecting the northbound and southbound lanes. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Anavid. New this morning, investigators trying to figure out what sparked a fire at a vacant home in South Austin. The fire broke out after midnight on Cherrydale Drive. That's near William Cannon and Manchac. The house on the market to be sold. No one lived there. No one was hurt. Fire started in the attic, destroyed about 40% of the roof of the home.
Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is taking legal action against several Austin city officials who stand against Senate Bill 4, which Governor Greg Abbott signed into law Sunday night. The measure bans so-called sanctuary cities and would require law enforcement to comply with federal requests to hold criminal suspects while their immigration status is investigated. Paxton is asking a U.S. District Court to uphold SB 4 as constitutional. Paxton says the suit will help prevent opponents from filing multiple lawsuits. Named in the suit, Travis County Sheriff Sally Hernandez, the City of Austin, Austin City Council member Greg Kassar, and Austin Mayor Steve Adler. Mayor Adler says he welcomes the legal motion and says he will continue to speak on the community's behalf regarding SB 4, which is set to go into effect September 1st. To read statements from other city officials in response to the lawsuit, go to our website, kvue.com.
Opponents aren't backing down from their fight against the Sanctuary Cities bill, which they say opens the door to discrimination against immigrants in Austin.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, SB 4 has got to go.
Yesterday, protesters took to the streets near the governor's mansion, and this time state leaders and a Texas congressman joined them for the fight. Austin City Council member Greg Kassar, State Representative Rafael Anchia, and U.S. Congressman Lloyd Doggett in the crowd yesterday. They all say that the bill will not hold up in court. In addition to requiring all Texas law enforcement to honor ICE detainers, Senate Bill 4 will allow police to ask people who are detained about their immigration status. Critics say it amounts to racial profiling, but supporters say the law keeps people safe.
Oh, and Travis County changed its policy earlier this year to only hold on to suspects for federal immigration agents under certain situations. Well, the governor's office stripped Travis County of $1.2 million in grant funding. And as KVUE's Jay Wallace tells us this morning, county commissioners are looking at how to keep vital programs running without that money. Jay.
Yeah, that's right. This proposal has been in the works since just days after Governor Abbott made those cuts. About 2 days after Travis County officials launched a site to raise money from the private sector to make up for that loss. And now today, the county staff is hoping to at least figure out a temporary plan to make up for those cuts and help out for the funding in all of these programs. Now, in case that money never comes back, today the county is looking up how to make up for that shortfall when the governor slashed grant funding that cut off money from programs for certain juvenile courts, drug diversion and prostitution prevention programs, and veterans court. Those programs serve about almost 3,500 people. The county is now planning to keep those programs running by shifting around the budget. That's what they are voting on today. Now, this morning, we don't know if Travis County will ever get that funding back. That could happen. But now that SB 4 is set to become law in September, and the sheriff has said she is going to abide by it, this means the county would no longer need to be punished by the governor for that policy. Live in Austin, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
Well, President Donald Trump still facing challenges on his revised temporary travel ban. Yesterday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in Virginia heard arguments on the executive order which temporarily restricts travel and blocks new visas from 6 countries. As ABC's Janae Norman reports, the outcome not exactly what the Trump administration was hoping for.
New details about the national security concerns that rocked the early days of the Trump presidency. Former Acting Attorney General Sally Yates testifying she met twice with White House counsel to warn that then National Security Advisor Michael Flynn might have been lying to the White House and have discussed President Obama's sanctions against the Kremlin for election meddling with the Russian ambassador, despite telling the vice president he hadn't.
The vice president was unknowingly making false statements to the public, and because we believed that General Flynn was compromised with respect to the Russians. We believe that the Russians knew this, and that created a compromise situation, a situation where the national security advisor essentially could be blackmailed by the Russians.
But Flynn remained on the job for 18 days after the initial warning, even participating in a phone call between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. In that time, it was Yates who was fired for not defending Trump's controversial Muslim travel ban.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
Monday, a panel of appeals court judges hearing a challenge to the travel ban, deciding whether Trump's past anti-Muslim statements could be used against him.
He's never repudiated what he said about the Muslim ban. It's still on his website.
As of Monday, a controversial statement was still posted on President Trump's website calling for a complete shutdown of Muslim immigration to the U.S. But within minutes of ABC News asking the White House press secretary about that, it was taken down. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
The family of a man shot and killed by 2 Austin police officers over the weekend sharing their thoughts on the shooting and their loss.
We still in shock. I mean, everybody's just hurt right now. We all consider each other brothers and sisters.
Years old.
Happened on 6th Street around 2:30 Sunday morning. Investigators say 24-year-old Landon Nobles fired a gun into the air after a heated argument and then at officers while they chased after him. The officers returned fire. His family, who also witnessed the incident, says there's more to the story than what police are saying. His cousin says he saw an officer throw a bicycle at Robles, causing him to fall down.
A bicycle, and she threw it at him, like at his legs, and he kind of fell. When he fell, a gun went off.
They used deadly force, and that's not right.
Austin police identified Robles as the shooter by using public safety cameras. The family now demanding police release those videos to see exactly what happened. Both officers on administrative leave while the department investigates.
5:08 is your time, and the University of Texas is urging students to report any offensive flyers found on campus. One found on West Campus this week reads "Frats Bash Back," and it features a picture of the student who had been stabbed to death on campus last week. It also urges Greek Life students to form safety squads to protect themselves from, quote, the anti-white establishment on campus. University police are aware of the flyer, but they're not looking into it, they say, because it was posted off campus. Today, Austin City leaders will be discussing how the city's plan for future growth will impact economic diversity in your neighborhood. A recent study named Austin the most economically segregated city in the country, meaning here, compared to the rest of the country, the wealthy, middle class, and poor are least likely to share the same neighborhoods. Today, the Real Estate Council of Austin will hold a discussion on how the city's zoning plan, called Code Next, may make those issues worse or better. Now let's see what's shaping up out there with Erica. You've got your head in the clouds, and for a good reason.
That's right, because we have plenty of the clouds out there. Also, a lot of humidity. Keep that in mind. Humidity is going to stick around for the next 72 hours or so, also giving us some rain shower chances. This morning, about a 20% chance of an isolated sprinkle, maybe some patchy drizzle as you're heading to work or heading out the door. Temperatures in the mid-60s, so it's comfortable temperature-wise, but what's not making it comfortable are the dew points in the lower 60s. It's sticky out there. It's all due to the southeast wind that continues to dominate our region. On the mild side right now, anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour. It could pick up to about 15 miles an hour this afternoon. Not as breezy as yesterday. We're not expecting things to be as gusty, but we do have some southeast winds this afternoon. Again, sustained under 15 miles an hour, but that 20% chance of an isolated sprinkle is in your forecast all day long. It's really just because our atmosphere is so saturated. Here's a look at your forecasted high temperatures for today. Lower 80s in Austin. Same thing for Bastrop. Our warmest spot will be across the eastern counties at 85 degrees. Coolest spots will be the hill country. I don't think they're going to make it to 80 degrees this afternoon. Talking rain shower chances and how long the rain will last in the full forecast. So I'll get to that in just a little bit. Guys, back to you.
Erica, thanks. Golf's always been Tony Romo's second favorite sport. Now that he's done with football, it's moved up a notch. Romo had dreams of playing in the U.S. Open this summer, but those dreams ended in Aledo yesterday in North Texas. Romo playing in a U.S. Open qualifier near Dallas. He needed to finish in the top 7 out of 117 golfers. The former Cowboy quarterback didn't quite make it. He did have an eagle in his round, but he also carded a triple bogey. He shot 75, 6 shots too many. He'll have to try again next year. As for now, he'll just get to work on that new job in the TV booth with CBS.
Be honest, does it make you just a little bit happy that he wasn't the best golfer?
No, I was pulling for him.
You wanted him to do well?
Yeah, I wanted him to make it.
I think
Maybe
sometimes people were like, you've got to be bad at something, something.
Yeah. He's really good at golf, too, for sure.
Well, a local neighborhood is seeing an increase in car vandalism incidents.
This morning, who police think are responsible and what they're using to get into the vehicles. And a flyer for a Texas gym raising some eyebrows. Parents say it fat shames children. How the gym's owner is responding.